build up the good and cut out the bad. That's how I'd summarise Jesus' gospel message for us today. If there's one thing that Jesus is really passionate about, it's that there be more good in the world. He came to the world to make it a better place, and I think that desire is something that we can all relate to. We all want the world to be a better place, for ourselves and for the people that we care about. So, how do we make the world a better place? By doing good and cutting out the bad. This is the founding principle of nearly every religion and culture, and it can sound pretty simple, but to put into practice is where the difficulty comes. So, what tips does Jesus give us in the gospel today? Firstly, I think he asks us to recognise and encourage the good that others do. This is what we see him inviting the disciples to do. They talk to him about a guy who's not part of their group, who is going around doing miracles, and they say, "Don't you want to stop him, Jesus?" And Jesus says, "Of course not, let him get on with it. It's good that he's doing good." So, how can we encourage others who maybe don't do good in the way that we would to continue this week? Maybe it's as simple as saying thank you. Secondly, Jesus invites us to do good ourselves, and he says that doing good is pretty simple. You don't have to do big heroic acts. It can be as small as giving a glass of water to someone who is thirsty. That takes literally no time at all. Maybe for us it can be giving a smile to someone who seems down. It can be giving a call to someone who seems like they're a bit lonely. It can be helping someone who's struggling with their classwork. We can do very simple things that can build up the good in the world. Finally, we get to the part of the gospel that I found a bit more tricky. Jesus starts talking about cutting out your eye if it causes you to sin, cutting off your arm if it causes you to sin. And I thought, Jesus, if I take you literally at your word, I'll be like a pile of limbs on the floor. But what I understood when I talked to Jesus a bit more about this is that he said to me, "Izzy, do you know what? I think a lot of the time, you know when something is bad, and you know when you're doing a bad thing. And many times you don't even want to do it. So maybe this week you can cut it out. You can try to not do the bad that you don't want to do." How do we put that into practice? Well, I was thinking, sometimes there are people who annoy me, and to try and get back at them, sometimes I say not very nice things. Maybe, when I know that I'm about to do that, I can ask Jesus, help me to turn this bad thought into a good thought. Maybe it seems a bit difficult, but if we get into the habit of changing these bad acts into good acts, we can get more used to it. So, just to summarise, in this week's Gospel, Jesus invites us to build up the good by recognising and giving thanks for the good that others do. Maybe that will encourage them to carry on and do more. By doing simple good acts ourselves and trying to cut out the bad acts that we don't really want to do and that we don't really like. St. Paul says in another part of the Bible, "Often, I don't do the good I want, and I do the bad that I don't want to do." Let's try and turn things around this week. So, I hope that's been a help. Don't forget to subscribe next week and see you soon. Bye!